peer-reviewed research showing that certain individuals, authentic mediums, can indeed communicate accurately with disembodied spirits. The success rate of these authentic mediums is 87%.
Wow.
His control group only had a 23% success rate. The chances of that happening by chance are over 1 in 1 million. Dr. Schwartz had magicians observe his research, scientists, everything was videotaped. No one could find any flaws in his methodology. And again, this research has been repeated again. So this is an exciting time to be alive because of all this evidence coming to the fore. You know, in days past, people said, trust in God, you got to have faith.
Right.
Now we have that and much, much more.
Speaking about God and faith, what happens to us when we die?
Well, it depends on our state of consciousness when we pass on. People encounter the light. You know, you hear about people having near-death experiences. They see the light. And so we have a choice to enter that light. But someone who's severely atheist, someone who is addicted, for example, to drugs or alcohol, someone who's very attached to materialism, sexual addiction, whatever, may not want to go into the light. They may be embarrassed. They may feel like they don't deserve it. They may not want to leave Earth because that's the only place they can get their fix. That's how ghosts or stuck spirits can occur. But for the great majority of people, when you pass on, there's the light. Now, people who led a soulful life, people like Mother Teresa, it'll be like walking from one room into another. Those who lived a poor life, hurt a lot of people, Adolf Hitler, for example, will have to go through quite a process that could be millennia in Earth time, rest, counseling, rehab, before they can even begin to have their life review and not only see but feel all the negative, all the pain they caused others.
We hear these stories about angels, and a lot of the stories that you hear about angels are from children. Do angels really exist, Mark?
Well, it depends on whether we want to look at a duality model or not. And that is the most absolute way of looking at what's going on is it's all God. It's this huge universe, this expanding universe, all this energy, God's breathing in and out. There's just one of us. But that's a little abstract for most people. And so if we want to say there's you and me and the table and angels, we're separate beings, then yes, it appears that there are higher energy beings that you can call angels who appear at times to help, to assist and guide. I saw one in 1994. I was finishing my first book at the time, which was called Balanced Living. I was looking for a passage in the Bible and had no idea where to find it. I didn't have a concordance at the time, and I just kind of looked up at this guy like, come on, help me here. I've been working on this book for a couple years, every spare moment. All of a sudden, in my peripheral vision, I saw this white, gauzy dress, like a woman just walked by me in a white wedding dress, and I heard a bit of a giggle, and I looked over and just saw for just a few seconds, felt ecstatic, and immediately opened the Bible exactly to the line that I was looking for, and that is in the Hebrews saying about humans, he made them just a little lower than angels.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you found during your research or when studying the research of others that children have a higher connection rate with angels?
They do, and partly that's because they're not indoctrinated into the world. You know, children up around age 5 will also see spirit beings. They understand that death isn't an end. It's just you go somewhere else. And then they get into kindergarten, they have to learn the alphabet and how to count and so on, and they get more, say, brainwashed that this earth is all there is. So yes, the little ones will often see, and that's one source of comfort for bereaved parents. The little one's dying, and he'll say, don't worry about me, Mom. Can't you see my angel right here with me? He tells me we're going fishing soon. Great source of comfort.
Why do we have such a negative outlook on death if we never die?
Well, more and more people don't. When I was young, and you and I are about the same age, I was looking at your site today, great site.
Thank you.
And when we were young, you heard a lot about the Grim Reaper. Remember that?
Yeah, I sure do.
the Psy and all that. You don't hear much about the Grim Reaper these days. You hear more and more about the light. And so I think that that image of God as the light, and when you die, you enter the light, you embrace the light, is replacing. So I think people are dropping it more and more. Also with this evidence out, and there's so much evidence, so many people teaching this, that we are beginning to see the benefits of it. With the internet, shows like yours that is spreading this information. Information can be dispersed very quickly now. So I think humanity is waking up to that good news that we each are, as almost everyone who has a near-death experience says, we each are one with the one. We each are part of Source right now. That's the good news that sets us free, that I think great religious teachers tried to teach us before their message got twisted around by the power mongers.
Yeah, it's true. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Mark, please stand by. Great having you with us. Exonation, Dr. Mark Pitstick is our special guest. He's a clinical psychologist and holistic chiropractic physician. Has over 40 years' experience helping tens of thousands of patients in hospitals, pastoral counseling settings, mental health centers, and private practice. The name of his book is Soul Proof: Compelling Evidence You Are an Infinite Spiritual Energetic Being. And his website is www.soulproof.com. That's www.soulproof.com. We have to take our news break. When we come back, more of our conversation with Dr. Mark Pitstick as the X Zone continues, right here from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. You can always send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. We'll be back on the other side of the news. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships, not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com, $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. Now you can dial in to listen to the X Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Joyce with Stargazing for the X Zone for the week of April 28th. The sun will look like a ring of fire above some remote parts of the southern hemisphere on Tuesday during a solar eclipse, but most people around the world won't get a chance to see it. Whereas lunar eclipses occur when there's a full moon, the solar eclipse only happens during a new moon. Half the world saw the blood moon lunar eclipse during the full moon of April 15th. Tuesday's eclipse will occur when the moon is closest to its farthest distance from the Earth, making it too small to cover the sun completely. The resulting effect looks like a ring of fire called an annulus, and that appears as a silhouette around the moon. Remember, when there's a new moon, there's no moon at all. The worldly application of a Taurus solar eclipse is to help you get in touch with your core values. It blocks out personal ego desires to go right to what your inner spirit wants to manifest. The opportunity is to bring higher values and greater beauty into your life now. The new moon and solar eclipse on Tuesday may send the world into a mild tizzy. Watch North Korea and the Ukraine for major upsets with government. But you will get another opportunity to consolidate whatever advantages you have gained over the past few months. A Taurus new moon is excellent for putting practical effort into your needs and desires. Health and wellness options get a boost early in the week, perhaps prompting you to consider a new diet or exercise routine. There's also positive news on the work front, as changes can mean a boost in earnings or a promotion. If you've been applying for a new job, you may get some good news. Later, Venus glides into Aries, which brings romance and pleasure. Your love life is looking much livelier. Enjoy a few social outings. It might help take your mind off some more stressful matters. Perhaps you want to make some changes in your home, new furniture, paint, whatever. Whatever comes your way, you'll probably put a lot of energy into it, so focus and accomplish what you want. Because there's lots of planets in unmovable signs, Taurus and Scorpio, as May opens on Thursday, be careful of stubborn my way or the highway thinking. Warrior Mars is still retrograde until May 19th. Consider what is dead in your life and needs to be released. Know that your highest path is shown if you go into your inner self to seek direction. Continue with hard work early in the week, and then make time for a variety of fun as the month of April ends under a Gemini moon. Gemini wants to keep things on the move, talk to a lot of people, and does not get bogged down in any one thing. Enjoy May Day and the Kentucky Derby on Sunday. Time to plan for some summer fun.
And for more information about Elizabeth Joyce or to book a one-on-one consultation with Elizabeth, visit her website at www.new-visions.com. And Elizabeth now does worldwide readings and consultations via Skype. Exonation, my guest this hour is Dr. Mark Pitstick. He is the author of Soul Proof, Compelling Evidence You Are an Infinite Spiritual Energetic Being. His website is www.soulproof.com. Mark, how does a person know whether or not they've actually had a visitation?
Well, those can occur, Rob, in several different ways. First of all, in a dream. Very, very common because, again, the receiver has their mind quiet. The mind isn't chattering away. And the difference between a regular dream and an ADC dream would be that the person, the dream seems very real, very lucid. And then when the person awakens, they feel transformed. They feel peace that before they felt anxiety about their loved one. They feel like they have been contacted and know that they can continue that contact just because a person dies, but it doesn't mean the relationship has to end. It just changes in nature. Likewise with waking ADCs or after-death contacts. So, for example, my fiancée, Andy, there was no doubt when she saw her mother that was a contact. Other times, there will be mysterious goings-on. For example, when my dad passed about 7 years ago, and not long after he died, my mom was in her condo by herself, doors locked, and working in the kitchen, and all of a sudden she felt a major pinch on her behind. Well, she whirled around and actually said out loud, "Bill Pitstick, that has to be you. No one else would touch me there." So, there was no doubt in her mind who it was. And so it's fascinating when you talk with people. I have a patient named Betty who told me not long ago her husband had died about a year before, and he was ravaged. He was about 75 years old, had cancer, lost weight, really sick guy. And she was sitting in her living room. All of a sudden she felt his presence, turned to the side, and there he was standing there looking about 35 years old, healthy, happy. He walked over and actually kissed her on the lips lightly before